Started up the skid steer. Phil's on his way. Yeah, look at this little pond down here already. Kind of got to mix this in with the water here. I'm almost done. This back corner just destroyed me. My back, it was so hard, like concrete. Water level is going to be right here about where that blade is. So this is going to be just the rest of my core trench here. And then we're going to fill and pack tomorrow. I want to get in here and clean this up a little bit before we do that, but it's going to be a beautiful pond. Fingers crossed. Look at that, I hit a spring or something already. It's all sopping wet right there. All right, it's Friday morning. We got rain coming tonight, so I'm gonna head up to the front and keep working on the pond, and Phil's gonna come over again. Hopefully we can at least get it to a point where that rain don't really destroy things up there. All right, get the machines warmed up, or at least the excavator, and we're gonna go check on that water seep down there. See how much water is collected down in that bottom of that core trench. Ooh, yeah, we got a little water in here. Not too terrible though. Time to start, I'm gonna make it a little wider in a couple spots, and then we're gonna start filling and packing. No pun intended, filling. Alright, so now what I'm doing is sifting. Mostly done, but sifting this pile of wet clay that I had Phil grab, because we need more wet clay. We got plenty of dry stuff, but we needed some more wet stuff to help compact it. I mean, if we made the damn, this size out of all dry, I don't know how she would hold. So we should have enough to, at least for the core trench, plenty to get it moist and compacted, and then when we start building the top trench, we can excavate dirt out of here, which is wet. So that's the plan. All right, put some jams on, man. I'm not quite awake yet. Started up the skid steer. Phil's on his way, but for the moment I'm going to switch to the skid steer in a minute, but I'll start putting dry stuff down in this middle here, because it'll absorb, it'll pick up that moisture from underneath, and then I'll switch over to the skid steer and start compacting and bringing in dry and wet stuff. I think I need a little better reach here. So let the fun begin. Let's see if we can beat this rain or not. Should be interesting. Don't forget, if you like our stuff, we'd greatly appreciate it if you give it a like and share it out there. And if you haven't subscribed, always consider doing that. We document pretty much everything on our modern homestead, if you will, almost daily. Tune's back on, switch over to the skid steer here in about 5 minutes. Bring some dirt in here. You start running out of room, and these are really not like big ponds. Yeah, look at this little pond down here already. gotta mix this in with the water here. So when Phil gets here, I'll add dirt with the excavator at the same time he's bringing it in, and we'll work on getting it compacted. This is still soupy under here. I think I'm also one of the ideas from last time on compacting. Since I don't have a lot of more than 2 track compaction hobby, use a little compact middle. So I still doing this. And maybe I'll take a all right, plan B, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little wider so we can get overlapping compaction. Besides, I need more wet stuff, and right here in the middle it's nice and wet. It's actually too wet to compact, so it'll mix nicely with the dry stuff. And Phil's here, he's going to get started here in just a minute. All right, we'll make it wider here and then check back in and get going. All right, I'll keep digging. All right, I got 2/3 of it widened out now. And I'll have Phil start here on this 2/3 that's widened out, and then I'll finish the rest of this. All right, a little change of plans. I'm hitting water down there. And I put a bunch of dry dirt in here right behind where I'm at now. But it's getting mushy pretty fast. So I told Phil to start on that end, come in behind me with dry dirt. I mean, look at my tracks. I mean, I filled this whole thing. You could see all the piles of dry. And it's starting to get wetter and wetter. So, I mean, we may end up having a seep over time under the pond, because you can only dig so deep. Or I'm only going to dig so deep, but being this is a runoff on a hillside, it should still stay full, even if there's a weep underneath it. So we'll keep filling. So in the next clip, you're going to see how we're mixing it. We're trying to mix, 1, 2, or 3 wet buckets with 1, 2, or 3 dry ones. It's not really scientific, but we're just getting a feel so that dirt is moist enough where we can get good compaction as we build this core trench up from the very bottom. Working out good. He's bringing in dry and I'm chucking in wet, and looks like we're getting pretty darn good compaction. All right, now we're finally going to start rolling. I got the big dirt bucket, which on the skid steer, which is the biggest one in the entire skid steer industry for that size skid steer. So we can move a lot of dirt in a short period of time. And then I'm going to go up here on the top of the pond dam and I'm going to add more dirt. So we can kind of double adding our dirt, and then he's doing good tracking it in with that machine. some wet stuff here. He's since he's still bringing dry. All right, keep jamming.